Support our woman now. Fast new be I'm a sibling in your meeting. That must I'm a criminality. If it's true, I point to wasn't easy, but I'm here. Thank you. Been a long time coming like GMT. Got a man time. DMC that made GH rap. Create tracks. And I told Tasha he go be ASAP. Cause she wants to be a rapper. But she's not inspired. Younger rappers claiming they on fire. And all these whack phones going higher. Big up lots more, she won't retire. So I said chill, kill. Make her drop this album, make we see. Maybe we go make history. When you not said, hip hop and jaw bills, rapping it also. Just a jack with jai on my console still. Vintage yo, I mean, why stop when I'm on the rise, yo? 46,000 plus followers on Twitter. No albums, just little rhymes I deliver got me here, so why I go give up? Why I own my own company? Go figure. Friends no be loyal since VIP split up. Left leg on soil, right in the river. But not quite cool. I rap skillions till we break through. Positive to make it true. My own path that they can do what they Sanity and I'm going to make you proud. This is a song by the legendary music producer J So featuring AI of Too Legit Music Records. Yes, I need to give them the shout out. I need to acknowledge them because they are a few of the artists who you saw on your YouTuber are more flagel, you know, and they're amazing. That the title of the song, people have been asking me, the title of the song is Tasha, Making Tasha Proud. Making Tasha Proud by J So. So we're about to learn. US President Donald Trump has been impeached the second time. That makes him a historic president. That makes him a historic president. No president has been impeached twice whilst he is in power. So we are going to do some learning. We're going to learn this evening and also find out whether some pastors who prophesy about elections and foreign elections, do they really understand what they talk about? Where did they get the information from? So tonight we are here to learn. And I'm talking about Reverend Usu Bempa. He said that Donald Trump can never be impeached. Even after he was impeached, he never understood it. He said he has not been impeached. So we are here to learn. So just tell a friend to join us live here, and let's put some one or two to the matters arising after Donald Trump has been impeached in the US. You know, being the first president to be impeached twice whilst in power. Amazing. You know, he came to power strangely and he's leaving so strangely as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. My name is Kwabena Bibenite. You can call me DJ Fuad, the public enemy who hates no one. And I'm a broadcast journalist. I'm a blogger. I'm a copywriter. I am a media marketer. And I love philosophy to the max. Yes. So
My YouTube channel is DJ Fuad. Simple as that. And special announcement. My former show called The Diaspora Dialogue that I used to have on S Live Africa is bouncing back on TV, called the Global African Conversation. So check our Facebook page on Facebook, the Global African Conversation, and let's get it starting. As soon as I get back from the Western region to Accra, we're going to get that, and the show on Army TV is also going to go on unabated. So once again, welcome. So President Donald J. Trump has been impeached. Second, today I'm repping my CSF YT, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm repping my YT. Donald Trump has been impeached for the second time, unprecedented in the history of U.S. politics. He has been impeached twice. And yesterday, something happened in the U.S. House of Representatives. And some of us have always been saying, hey, today I've seen a ghost watching the show. Alan Doss. I salute. This great man, Alan Doss, at here for before Summer Tour show, my main can be funny, he might not think he has done anything for Fuad, but let me take this opportunity to say, more emotion, more Alan Doss, more follow no. Oh, Facebook. I ran to winner. More money say me spend 7 years. Oh, JHS no. JHS na I did 2 years na 2.5 years no. Me did 7 years ni we. Enti Alandos ya madam for Alandos awie secondary school. Ewo maniso. Alandos ako wie university. Chira de ewo ye krom. That ye so senior high school. Na dako Alandos ka tell say bema. Minim se unu ade. Metimi a hyehye mu ma uni BEC certificate, but make my work SS because we say I'm not even sure Salandos ever can say same way. Okay. Now, Sadana Numre or Casemi say we are say who certificate to say certificate near Sheffield from or castle. Not uni connections are. If you don't know the right people don't know you are. Forget it. And I've kept this in my head since then. So Alandos, thank you very much. Anyway, so let's go back to the show. So Donald Trump has set a record of being the first president to be impeached twice whilst in power. Now, when Mr. Ghana has say asofo no, asorema no dodo na ni da ho. Enti na asorema na nkomo efre omo na wona na bewu na buti bete na wadim bekokodi wachi na say no. These church members are wising up, and the church, the owners and the pastor, the prophets in particular, have devised a strategy that if the church members are leaving us, we can target the head of state, the president of the United States, the president of Ghana, and everywhere. And if we predict or we prophesy about them and it come to pass, they will trust us. And of course, you can be invited to the White House and come home just like that. Even at the Flagstaff House, when they come home, 100,000 BBS. You know what I'm saying? So we were in Ghana where Reverend Usubempa came out as usual to say that, hey, today ghosts are watching the show. C.D. Thompson, welcome. Reverend Usubempa came out to say that, look, people are saying that Donald Trump is going to be impeached. Donald Trump is going to be impeached. I tell you, he will never be impeached. And even after he was impeached, this man of God did not see. And that's why I will not fault him, because it wasn't spiritual. It was political education. You understand? In Ghana, because our parliament is one, we only have one chamber. When a president is impeached, automatically, I think he will be removed from power. You understand? So, this man of God thought that Donald Trump being impeached will automatically go off power. So, once the impeachment debate went on and he didn't hear that Donald Trump had been removed from office, he came out to say that he was right, that Donald Trump was not impeached. But that's not what happened. So let's get the education. What is impeachment in the US? What is impeachment in Ghana? In Ghana, impeachment, once they say somebody is impeached, and for our education, it's not only the president that can be impeached. Okay? It's not only the president that can be impeached or who can be impeached. Any government official can be impeached, including the president. And even in the US, it is so difficult to impeach a president and then get him off power. So in the US, the process is two. You have to do two activities to get a president impeached in the US. In Ghana, our parliament is one. You understand? So once a president get impeached or a government official get impeached, that person will go straight off power or off office. It's as simple as that. Now, what is the difference between the Ghana Parliament and that of the US? The US have what we call the Senate and they have the House of Representatives. You understand? And how does an impeachment process start in the US? In the US, impeachment process will start from the House of Representatives, where the white nationalists went to storm last week when they were ordered by President Donald Trump. So in the US, when somebody is said to have violated a law that called for him to be impeached, an article will be sponsored in the House of Representatives. And when majority of the House members vote in favor of the impeachment, then it means that the president is impeached. When the president is impeached, then it means that the president is technically, legally indicted, where he can be tried in any court of competent jurisdiction. Shall I end the law terms about? Clap for me, you understand? I saw for no crowd, I'm say clap for Papa, you understand? So in the US, the process is two. The House of Representatives need to put together an article which will be voted upon. When the article is voted upon, then, and when those who brought the impeachment get the support of both sides, and when they count and the number of people who voted yes are more than the no's, when the yes vote is more than the no, then it is said to be that the president is impeached. So that is what happened last year. President Donald Trump was impeached. What was his charges? President Donald Trump has called a foreign government, asking the foreign government to start investigation against his political rival, Joe Biden, and his son. That's the Ukrainian president. And according to the US Constitution, that is a crime. You understand? And that's why the first president, and the first president to be impeached in the US was President Nixon. The second president to be impeached, which many political students or political admirers are not aware, is President Bill Clinton, the darling boy, the woman's man. He was also impeached, I think in 1998 or something. Okay? Now, US President Donald Trump was impeached last year for trying to use foreign government against his political rivals. I think President Nixon was also impeached for also tapping into the telephone conversation of his political rivals. Politics now the only difference is a small country like this, which has not developed, where every year when we are going to vote, somebody needs to be killed. when we're going to register somebody to be killed. That is where I disagree. You understand? Yes. Now, so Donald Trump has been impeached twice whilst he was in power. But because Reverend Usubempa does not understand the nuances in the US politics, in the US parliamentary system or representation system, he thought that once the president was not removed from power, he was not impeached. You understand? Now, so somebody will ask that now that President Donald Trump has been impeached for the second time, now it is left with just 1 week for the new president to be sworn in. What is next? After the House of Representatives have impeached a president, they then sent the impeachment article to the Senate. Okay? And that's where the difficulty happens. Many people, just like our dear Reverend Owusu-Bempah, was looking at whether the president will be removed from power or not. And why is it difficult for the presidents of the United States who have been impeached to be removed from power? President Nixon was impeached and he was not removed from power. President Bill Clinton was impeached, he was not removed from power. And Donald Trump has been impeached the second time in history. And we are waiting whether he will be removed from power or not. So how does impeachment get a president out of power? And besides, President Donald Trump has 1 week to go off power. So what sense does it make whether he goes off power or not? That's the biggest question. Now, the punishment for impeachment is not only when you go off power. When you go to the Senate, the impeachment article goes to Senate, and the Senate vote, and majority of the Senate members or the House vote yes in favor of the impeachment. If the president is still in power, then the president will be removed by force from power. That is it. If the president is not in power at the time when majority of the people at the Senate voted yes in favor of the article, what happens? The impeachment will prevent that president or that individual from holding any public office. And next to what I say, in the name of the country. So right now, after the House of Representatives have impeached President Donald Trump the second time, the impeachment article is going to be sent to the Senate. When it's sent to the Senate, depending on how the politics of the Senate looks like, unlike what happened in the House of Representatives yesterday when 10 Republican members voted against Donald Trump. In other words, 10 members of Donald Trump's own party voted against him to be impeached. Can that happen at the Senate? Because at the Senate, the Republicans are the majority at the Senate. Okay? So in the US, most of the time, sometimes, whilst a party will be in power, the party might have majority in Congress, but not have majority in Senate. A party in power might have a majority in Senate, but might not have majority in the Congress or the House of Representatives. That is how beautiful their democracy is. Unlike ours, where it's being tested just today, this year. You understand? So now Donald Trump's party, which is the Republicans, have majority in Senate, where the last punch will be delivered. In other words, it is at the Senate that when they vote, you'll be tried. The president will be tried like in court. He will be called there and he will be tried like in court. And after the House of the Senate members will vote yes or no. And after the vote, if the yes have it, the president now will, if he's in power, he will step down or he will be removed from power. If he's not in power, he will be prevented from holding any public office till he dies. So right now, this is what is awaiting President Donald Trump. I think the first one, when it was sent to the Senate, as usual, the Republicans had the majority there, so there did no vote. But now, there could be a twist. Because President Donald Trump, according to some big wigs in the Republican Party, has taken their party beyond what they represent, has taken their party beyond what majority of Americans stand for. From the beginning, they saw him to be the showboy, but he calling the people to go to the Capitol, that's the House of Representatives, to attack the members of the House of Representatives. Many of his party members and bigwigs want Donald Trump impeached. So 10 of Donald Trump's party members of Congress voted against him to be impeached. So now let's see what can happen at the House and at the Senate. If the Republicans feel that still the Trump card, the Trump personality, the Trump charisma is what they need going into 2024 elections, then they might not vote against him to be banned from holding any public office. Because strategically, if they also do the calculations and they realize that if Donald Trump is eligible to vote, to stand as presidential candidate in 2024, and that is going to mar their chances of winning the elections as a Republican Party, then they can have a caucus meeting that, look, he's our man, but if we don't technically cripple him from contesting again in 2024, our party will be the biggest loser. So let's sacrifice him. And if that becomes the consensus at the Senate, at the headquarters of the Republican Party, then Donald Trump can be voted against at the Senate, and therefore he will cease to hold any public office for the rest of his life. Okay, so that's the difference. In Ghana, because our parliament is not dual, it's not bicameral, it's just one. So if a president is impeached, then Utiati, you are going home, and it will be difficult. It will be difficult for it to happen in Ghana. So in conclusion, I would say that in the US, we have two stages of impeachment. And most at times, the first stage goes through successfully, which is where the president is impeached. But where he has to be removed from power is the work of Senate. And mostly it happens that the government in power mostly have majority in Senate, but we may have minority in Congress. And it's the Congress that starts the procedure or the process. And even though Congress has impeached you, we need Senate to remove you from power or stop you from contesting or holding any public office for the rest of your life. So these are the details, or somebody would say the nitty-gritties of how impeachment and the final punishment is delivered in the United States of America. Unlike what we have in Ghana, which has not been even tested before. At least the US impeachment process has been tested twice, whereby President Nixon has been impeached but was not removed from power. President Bill Clinton was impeached but was not removed from power. And Donald Trump has been impeached 2 times, 2 solid times, which is title holder, and I think that Dr. Ewan need to prepare a special award for our dear President Donald J. Trump, because he's done so amazing. And if you've been following proceedings in the US, you realize that after he incited the people to go and attack the Capitol, that's the House of the Representatives, he then came and was forced to read a message written for him by force. And if you listen to these two messages that President Donald Trump has delivered, you clearly see that this is not the man. The vocabularies are not his. And for your information, do you know that Facebook has banned President Donald Trump? President Donald Trump cannot write on Facebook. And on Twitter, he has been limited. So that's another thing that I need to educate ourselves. Sometimes when we go against Facebook rules and regulations and they ban us and all of that, we crowd foul because we are Africans and all of that. Lifestone, welcome. They do it to their own. A whole president of the United States has been banned from using Facebook. So it's an advice for all of us. If you don't know, take your time and read about Facebook rules and regulations. All of us have been victims before. We know sometimes they go overboard, but anyway, they have their platform. They say this is their rules. But sometimes they don't get it, where some pornographic posts are allowed on Facebook, and just a message that the black man is using to educate his brother becomes a problem. But then, it is what it is. Finally, what I want to talk about what has been happening in the US vis-a-vis what is happening in Ghana is that we are gradually going deeper into the age of Aquarius. Okay? And this is when we need more collaborations than competition. So that is why you saw what happened in Parliament, where some MPP members voted for their opponent to become their leader in Parliament. They have no choice. That is the wind that is blowing. In the US, 10 solid members of Donald Trump's party voted against him to be impeached yesterday. Okay? So it should tell us, all of us, something, that those days is getting over. Anyone who is not ready for anyone who is not ready for collaborations should forget it in any spheres. And I think the same thing should happen in our education, where it has been stiff competition. Exams. I think it's about time Africa should cancel examination. And if we cannot cancel it, it's about time Africa should reduce the spirit of examination. We should reduce the spirit of school and bring in more education. I think it will really help, because the times is dictating what we the people should do. And if we are not ready to do that, we'll suffer. So this collaboration from opposition parties and members of the majorities coming together to do things, it's not going to only be happening in Ghana, it's going to be happening across the world. I've been listening to a lot of numerologists, because numerologists are people that I trust than these are so-called pastors. And most of what they are saying is that all things are just dying. All things are going to die. And that gives me a lot of hope. I have been saying that the day is coming where we'll find NDC and MPP in opposition one day in our lifetime. And I've started writing that book. I started writing a book the day the NDC and MPP went into opposition. So get ready to come to that book launch. Okay? I know somebody hearing this for the first time from my big mouth will laugh and maybe insult me. But I'm telling you, I am a futuristic person. And I'm going to write a book. And the religious people can call it a prophecy or what. But I'm telling you, that day is coming. Alandos, are you there? My senior MPP man. The day is coming where NDC and MPP will be in opposition after one election in Ghana. And it's not that far. It's just right across the corner. So, in conclusion, Donald Trump is the first president of the United States to be impeached twice, which is unprecedented. And already, till today, let me give you a lot of gist about Donald Trump. You know, after the election, he has never conceded. It is recently that he's saying that let's hope for a peaceful transition, which is indirectly he's accepting the elections that he has lost and Joe Biden has won. Now, Donald Trump has already had some criminal charges. Okay? Aside he calling the Ukrainian president to start investigation against Joe Biden and his son. He also has some other criminal charges of tax evasion and all of that. And rumor was going around that Donald Trump wanted to get presidential pardon before his tenure goes off. So he still has that period, which is from now to next week, to get that presidential pardon. And how do you get a presidential pardon? You get a presidential pardon only from a president. So how can a president pardon himself? That would be abuse of power. So crack your mind. How would Donald Trump get his presidential pardon? And Donald Trump cannot bow down his ego to wait for Joe Biden to sworn in and go and be like, Joe, you know, I did a lot of bad things, but I want you to pardon me, Joe. You know, now you are the president. I want you to pardon me. No, President Trump is not going to do that. So one of the things that he can do is he can step down even a day before his tenure comes to an end. He can step down. Then his vice president, which is Pence becomes the president of the United States. Then vice president can now pardon Donald Trump. And when a president pardon you, all the sin, the crime that was on your head goes automatically. Now, before that can be done, this law of presidential pardon does not work across the whole of US. Today, yes, I'm giving you my foreign policy lectures. Presidential pardon. You remember Muntie 3, President Mahama pardoned them. And whatever crime that they committed, once President Mahama pardoned them, it is gone all over Ghana. President Kufuor also pardoned some people, Vito Solomon and other people, okay, who went to prison for financial whatever. And once President Kufuor pardoned them, or once President Mahama pardoned the Muntie 3, their sin is forgiven legally in Ghana. They can walk free everywhere. But in the US, it's not like that. A state like New York, if you are giving presidential pardon, it doesn't work in New York. So currently, a rumor that I've heard is that President Donald Trump has changed his residency from New York to a different state where presidential pardon works. Charlie. You see, what I tell you, that what we are practicing in Ghana is not democracy, it's just constitutionalism. Omaya ye Ghana for ye kohokobo besiano. Omo emra no eye so good say presidents yetimi e processo ema wo teso na yetimi de wo court edi wasem. But Ghana broke man, broke country. Yetimi fa president the court even after wadi the president ewie no. My other people, what I said is that a country like US, where Ghana and other African countries go to borrow money, has laws that can make the citizens trial the president while he's in power. And when he's found guilty, he can be removed from office. But in Ghana, the only way is through impeachment, and even that, It doesn't happen because of the way our parliament system is, where every year the government in power has the majority. You get it? So Donald Trump is looking to, apart from the impeachment that has come, already he has some tax evasion crimes where he's trying to save himself. So it's either he steps down any day before his tenure of office come to an end, and then he gets his vice president becoming the president of the USA, and then give him presidential pardon. And even the presidential pardon does not work in the state where Donald Trump has his official residency. So rumor has it that Donald Trump is working to change his residence from New York to a different state where presidential pardon works. So you see how this advanced countries has made corruption a tedious work, whilst in Ghana, corruption is just misdemeanor. Misdemeanor. Misdemeanor, to say the wasuma obana also uncle. Now also trying to home. And now back akwala didi panyinatem. You understand? So in the US, this is what President Donald Trump is going through. Even before that, don't forget, Donald Trump has the Donald Trump Foundation, and according to the US laws, his foundation misused and some monies. So he was found $2 million, and his children, who are managers of the foundation, were asked to go and learn NGO management or foundation management, you know. So I'm not saying all of this to say that everything is rosary, everything is perfect in the US. No. If you're looking for countries where their citizens are sick, US is in the league. You understand? They have homeless people, they have street people just like us, just that some systems are far, far better than ours. Now, as I'm coming to the end of today's presentation, Sachi Mante says that no corruption is like reading the Bible. As I come to the end of today's presentation, as I said, I love philosophy. So whatever going on, I put it in a philosophical context. And in philosophy, you don't necessarily say that this is the truth, this is the gospel truth, this is the... No. And this is the lie, no? We present the facts, and then people also tell their mind. And then gives opportunity for other people to also challenge what you said. So, glass and kwa reform. From tomorrow, I want to do some philosophical perspective from glass and kwa. I love our brother Jonas, and he's doing what he can as an activist, a youth activist, and I encourage him to do more. But where I think we need to put it into perspective, I have picked mine. Grass and kwa. I don't think we should use glass to say anything bad about Ghana, because in the first place, if you look at Ghana, your weather conditions are you hear too much of glass, especially here for no. Yeah, in this command brosono. I also Ghana ha glass and kwano eyema esikafo a ombetuma to air conditions are omo air condition light bill any problem. Sankaya mine air konanimu a nka ni here Benz brakes adan any here na sa roofing na dey Benz brakes na bi na ye no ne okole go na ho no eno na ye here majority of Ghana ntubo say we use light kitua bi one time so air condition one time so fine because all the Benz brakes sit down ya say ewia bo a na e kulu dan no awo ba na e madan ye hye enti Africa in general, you hear glass and kwa, and you hear too much of cement building. That is for me as a lover and a student of philosophy. That's my point of view. I don't think we should use like me who ebinum kra omutimi eka say behwe abrochire ha ku kohwe Ghana ho hyehye. My friend, Ghana ha hye na aye no eno enye ye misleaders and aye. That's our weather condition. And that's why anka I was say ye dwene ntade aye be hye tell be ya any weather na be suit a dying aye betina mu in particular. Ghana does not need too much of this cement concrete building. Abrofo mum wo weather ye cool no e use plywood any nua e ceiling e yo floor na ye yakra rubber. This and many more. And I'm a person. You do combo. Oh, question be waiting there about in the next 5 minutes. And now person baswa make me invite ona wabana yakasa na actually wadring kakra. Yeah. So in the next 5 minutes, if anyone wants to have any contribution or a say, I'm waiting for you. Whether you write it and I'll read it for you, or you can ask me to invite you, and I'll invite you to come on to talk. Akokwa say true talk, brother CSF. Thank you. Now, Sachi Mante said, no corruption is like reading the Bible. And then some article be out say the biggest scam is translating the Bible into local African languages. You know, there are some. So whilst I'm waiting for people to ask me to invite them to talk or read your messages, let me take the opportunity to say a big thank you. A big thank you for watching. Greetings to my boss Arambi Moshe. You were not feeling well earlier in the day, but in the evening, the way I saw you firing, but Avram, that pastor, Bonnie Ben Waye, Nkofo mi nu hwe ball o sunya ne coronation park and I go by. Nya ya hye no say ne go. E no mo ma hye support an say e go. Nya ya hye no say wani ye mani. Wani e ye mani. Me na mo mani na me say born an hye. Wait ma for so me. Asofo no ne church member na. The church member akọ heaven and hell. And wa akọ heaven bank. And o mako hu musika. Abraham, wani o mani. So I will say, in Pabo near Juma, or more Mabon Paya, much Mako Heavia, or how they say, just of water. But on the flip side, this, whenever you see some of these pastors, because that pastor will no more type on Omonta Emma out, Omun some out, because Omokono low key, but Omun to chrome for pa. Anytime also money a bit on some of this they know na our members na ni ABA, and as usual from time immemorial, religion has been used to tame and to put fear in the people. No, I disagree with this weather suggestion, bro. In the summer, there is high temperature in America than Ghana, but it's still cooler than Ghana. We don't have trees in Ghana. Yes, but you see, Sasamana, US, a year hot, no. Their economy is good. If they have to use air condition, they don't complain. You and I here, a lot of people, Bob Bakupa want them but we want to live in buildings that looks like the same thing in the US. I'm not sure the US people, Senka Ghana and can develop here, they will copy everything blindly from us. Nana Owusu Bempa. Are you getting my point? I'm not saying say in here glass buildings cry or hanum. No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying say looking at our weather condition, if we want to use our brain and we want to take advantage of our weather, when you build a bricks house, it alternates. When it is cold weather, the bricks produce heat naturally into the room. When it is hot, it produces a cold atmosphere. That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying that we don't need glass and coir everywhere in the tropics. It's only the summer and as but Ghana is almost throughout. And of course, I agree with you with tree growing. Also, you do anytime I make a because it's one of the cities in Kumasi used to have the tag of what do you call it? Garden City, but it looks like it's fading out. Okay. So thank you, Nana Owusu Bempa, for that one there. So these are some of the things we need to really look into. We need to really look into, because we have everything. Like, you let somebody take this as a project, as business. A real estate company that deals only in bricks housing, Ben's bricks. Nana Housing, I'm calling you. So pick up, and it will be amazing. My patcher, I your phone. I think you have to do it landscape so that we can see each other. So Nana was saying, my referral. Oh, okay. Nana declined. I don't know why. Let me see. So I'm only saying that looking at our weather condition here, it only makes sense for us to take advantage of our weather. They live in a snowy temperatures, and majority of the times I think my phone is in landscape, so I think it will be difficult for somebody to come on live here. Nana Osuempa says, we can't live like in America, that is for sure, but your line of buildings in Ghana even produce heat. People even tile outside the room where trees and grass are supposed to be. I cannot pick phone calls because it's the same phone that I'm using for the Facebook Live. So I cannot pick phone calls. You understand? So Nana Usbempa, I think you are agreeing with me now. That is what I'm talking about. When you are using bricks, Ben's bricks to build a house, you don't need too much of cement, because cement is one of the things that really produce heat. And until we, the Africans, begin to wake up and go for what is good for us, the cement companies, most of them are produced by foreign companies, and it is not their fault. Once they produce, they have to advertise and give you all the reasons why you in Africa, you need cement and you need an aluminium roofing sheet instead of Ben's bricks aluminium roofing sheet. Sachimante says, what about the foam? I don't know what you're talking about. You understand? So until we ourselves we begin to go in for what is suitable for our weather conditions, it's like somebody saying that majority of the times the Western people wear coats or jackets in their daily lives. We can't wear jackets here because of our weather. You understand? So all that I'm saying is that it's not everything that we see outside that we should encourage that we should have them here. You understand? Like food. It's not every food that they eat there that we need to encourage here. So I think we'll end it here and say a big thank to each. I mean, a form. Oh, your form there, form. I agree. I agree with Shefom. I was here from. We need to share from because our roads are so bad. This year I'll be doing a lot of road documentaries, and you guys, you get sad. Yes, Dubai and Qatar and all of that, they build their hot temperatures. But bro, Owusumak, look at Dubai's economy. I'm hearing Dubai want to even air condition the whole cities, the whole city. I just said, one number, Viambona, actually, oh, so they over America, they kind of say, my snow, my winter and sika. Oh God. If you don't know, in America, if I want to tell you that on the air condition, I'll tell you that let snow or winter happen in the car. You know, Dubai want to put air conditioning systems in all the city. Is Ghana ready to do that? So what I'm trying to say that is that we need to take advantage of our weather, especially when it comes to our buildings for the ordinary Ghanaian. Instead of going for too much of blocks, cement blocks, let's go for bent bricks and bent bricks roofing, which will cool our rooms for us so that we use less of electricity on fans and air conditions. I'm not saying we should go back and live primitive life, no. Yeah, Nana was in. Because the phone is in landscape, I cannot pick the call. So forgive me. Yeah. You understand? So formula the yen now also your form. Now you catch and paying for also now or more extra form. As soon as I catch a more I be a better more kwasi and talk on war, parliament, you know, or matter market you. My mom person no back and was you know, and I'm back or more active play and both sides. Directly and I'm usually. Marty say Omaka media na ka omo salary wasem Omaka extraction wasem ntokwa na course na they say NDC court na ho no eno so ombeka sa 2 months in komiye no na ye refi say omato extraction, but there is hope. The youth of Ghana are going to rise up and say bye-bye to the NDC NDP one day. This is how political I am. I am political, and my politics is that until NDC and NPP go in opposition, Ghana will do 1 step forward, 3 steps backwards. That's what we'll do. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. I don't want to go, but I have to go. Thank you very much for watching. And it will be uploaded on YouTube so that you can share to other people who want to know how the US Congress system and impeachment system and all of that happened. Thank you. Have a good evening. My name is Kwabena Bibini. You can call me DJ Fuad, the public enemy who hates no one. Bye-bye.